Now back to Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis.
And welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics this Sunday. We're talking the Legislative Scorecard is out. Joining me right now is Jason Huffman. He's the Executive Director of Americans for Prosperity, the West Virginia chapter. Good to have you on the program,
Thanks
Jason.
for having me on, Mark.
Did I get the title correct? Are you President or
State Director?
State Director. Got it. All right. You guys issued what you call your annual Legislative Scorecard this week, and folks can find this online at wvscorecard.com.
Right.
And it's a legislative scorecard basically giving not grades but letting voters know how their delegates and senators voted on certain issues. Why did you guys do this?
Well, so it's critically important that West Virginians are informed and engaged in the policy process, and what we're trying to do is get them engaged with this scorecard, let them know where their lawmakers stood on very critical issues that we identified as being very important this legislative session.
So if a lawmaker, let's talk about education reform, because maybe that was the most controversial bill of the years, and you guys backed education reforms. I don't know if you're completely happy with what finally came out, but you guys basically gave the concept of ed reform your blessing, and so the scorecard will tell folks that you guys were for it, and then there'll be a green check if the lawmaker voted with you guys, or a red check if they voted against, correct?
That is correct, and I would say that the education freedom issue is very critical for the state. We're way behind as a state in terms of offering up more educational opportunities for our students and families, and you're right, the eventual bill that passed was not supported by us. Governor Justice and lawmakers of both parties watered the bill down, and so that's something that we point out in the scorecard. We're a nonpartisan organization, and so we're able to hold folks of both parties accountable. We want to encourage them to come back and do some more education reform and work on these issues in a fashion that will provide students and families the educational freedom they deserve.
Let's talk about Americans for Prosperity for a moment, because you say it's a bipartisan organization, and I know you've worked on bills that have had appeal to both sides of the aisle, not only in the state legislatures but in Congress. The organization is funded by the Koch brothers. A lot of people view them as right-leaning, libertarian, but talk about your efforts to paint you guys as bipartisan and give us some examples.
Well, first of all, I would say that we have a philanthropical community across the country that supports what we do, because what we're doing is breaking down barriers that keep people from reaching their full potential. And our mantra is this: it's very simple. We're willing to work with anybody for a good idea. And as you see in the scorecard and some of our accountability efforts, we're thanking Senator Glenn Jeffries for his work on criminal justice reform. It doesn't matter what letter's beside your name. The tribalism has to stop. We got to bring people together in order to accomplish more. We can do more by uniting people than we can by dividing them, and so that's one of the things that we're trying to outline in the scorecard.
And one of the people you dinged is a Republican, Kenny Mann, a Republican senator from down south, because he was one of the people who was against the education reform bill, voted with the Democrats a lot of times on that, right?
Correct. And there are some members that voted for the final bill, which we didn't support, and we thought was a good first step, but we were agnostic on the whole. And I would say that it doesn't matter what letters by your name, right? If you were with the faction of anti-reform lawmakers that sided with Governor Justice to water down this education reform bill and fail West Virginia's kids, we're going to let folks know that that was your stance, and hopefully encourage you to take a better, more principled stance next go around.
Should people view these as endorsements? Again, some of the sheets show which lawmakers voted for and against certain bills that you guys were interested in, yet there is no endorsement in here, or there's no instructions, please vote against so-and-so because they weren't with us. Is that correct?
That is correct. So what we're doing is we're not doing any kind of electioneering. This is purely public policy accountability. You're not going to see anything from us that says vote for or vote against anyone. We're worried about the policy outcomes. We're worried about where members of the legislature stand on what we consider to be critical issues, because right now, West Virginia's, we're in a two-tiered society of haves and have-nots from years of a good old boy system run rampant. And what we have to do is take very significant steps with a sense of urgency to turn our state around. And what we're trying to do is instill that sense of urgency and that sense of accountability, because I think sometimes lawmakers believe they can vote however they want to in Charleston, and nobody in their district will know, and we want to make sure that that doesn't happen.
All right, we again want to let folks know it's the 2019 Legislative Scorecard. It is posted online at wvscorecard.com, and it is work put together by Americans for Prosperity, the West Virginia chapter. I know I'll see Jason Huffman lots when the legislature convenes in January, a frequent walker of the hallways down there at the Capitol. We'll have you back before then, too.
Appreciate it.
We'll have more Inside West Virginia Politics after this break. Stay with us.